Hi, Aletha here with Create Your Future. I am a one-on-one coach with Create Your Future, and I would love to work with you and help you learn all the different techniques and give you the confidence and the boost that you might need in order to manifest into your life the things that your heart desires. And for that to happen now, that you don't have to wait, that it's happening and it's happening now, and you can bring your desire into fruition now. I also have a course out called Manifesting a Relationship with an Age Gap. So if you or someone you know are in a relationship that has an age gap in that relationship between the two couples, then this is the perfect video for you, because it's going to show you how to manifest exactly what you want to experience within that relationship, how you want the people outside of you, the people in your family and society to react to you, and how you want them to accept it. And you can do all of that through the law of assumption once you know how and the techniques and what you need to do for all of that to begin to happen. You can reverse and change anything in your reality that you want through the law of assumption, because you can have and be and do anything you want, and you can certainly create a beautiful, wonderful, loving, blissful relationship where there is a significant age gap. So that's a course that I have out, and check and the link is below, so check that out. And I would love for you to then send me any kinds of comments that you have. That would be great to hear what your reactions are and how it helped you. All right, today I also want to talk about manifesting a relationship with an age gap. But there is more to it than that, because an age gap really is only isn't a problem, or a difference in age doesn't really matter until you say it does. Unless you think it matters, it's not going to matter unless you possibly are thinking that it will. And if you are thinking it's going to matter, and that people in your world, even the person you're with, if you're thinking any of those people are having some sort of issue with the fact that you're either way older or way younger than the person you're with, then that's what's going to be pushed out of you and reflected back. So it's so important when you are in a relationship of any kind that you recognize and understand that your thoughts create, and that they think and feel what you're thinking and feeling, they're thinking and feeling. And so if you have a situation that's undesirable, change your thoughts. Be reflective. Go inside and what am I thinking? Why is this showing up? What have I been thinking? What have I been saying to myself? What are my assumptions about this situation or about the people that are involved in this situation? And what am I projecting out on them? Because they have to conform to your thoughts, your assumptions. So if you're assuming they're going to reject the idea that you're in a relationship with a huge or a significant age gap, then that's what you're going to see reflected back to you. But if you're seeing things differently, and that they're accepting and loving you through all of this and supporting you, then that's what will show up also. So it's really important what we think, and that to understand it doesn't matter what you are dealing with, whether it is an age gap or an SP that is telling you they don't want to be in a relationship with you right now, or no contact at all, or a health issue, or a money issue. It doesn't matter what it is, or family issues where significant people in your family are going through difficult things. You have the power to alter all that, because everything and everyone is you pushed out, and in your bubble of reality, they must conform to you. So if you're seeing conflict within your own family, you can check out your thoughts and your assumptions, and assuming things that are going to bring them love, joy, peace, and unity, as opposed to what you might be experiencing in the current 3D. So you have the ability to help other people through your imagination, your inner conversations, and your assumptions and your intentions. Life is a controllable thing. You are not out of control, no matter how much you might feel that you are, and no matter how difficult the 3D looks. You are not out of control. You are actually the controlling factor of your reality. So that life is a controllable thing. That's a truth that you need to really take to heart and understand, and then apply it to your life, because you can experience whatever you please. You have that power in your own specific reality, because everything and everyone in your reality must conform to your thoughts. So once you realize that you are what you are, that the situations in your life are what they are by virtue of your state of consciousness from which you are thinking and feeling. So whatever state of consciousness what are you consciously aware of? What are you thinking about with regards to an age gap relationship, with regards to family difficulties, with regards to your health issues, with regards to income or your occupation? What are your thoughts? What is your perspective of all of that? And out of that, if you pay attention to that, you will notice possibly that there's some limiting beliefs in there, and that you can alter them and shift from that state of consciousness into a state of consciousness where everything is possible, and that you can have and be and do anything you please, because you do have the power through your consciousness to control your whole life, your reality, and everyone that's in it, because everyone must conform to you. So right now, what are you assuming right now, this moment, about the age gap in your life? Or what are you assuming about your health issues, or your money issues, or the family issues? What are you assuming? Because whatever you are assuming others are thinking, they're thinking. Whatever you're assuming that others are going to do, or how they're going to respond, and what their behaviors are going to be within whatever is going on in your life, then that's what will show up. Because everything that you think and feel, and your thoughts, your assumptions, they're all pushed out of you and reflected back to you. The people in your world must conform to you. They do not have free will. And everyone constantly overhears our thoughts. Others only echo that which we whisper in secret. That's a Neville Goddard quote. Others only echo that which we whisper in secret. They are continually overhearing your thoughts. You're feeling all bummed out about something, or you're going someplace. Like example, went to work one day and I was just having a negative thought and feeling like, oh, it's just going to be all negative at work and blah, 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 blah. And guess what it was? So then I realized what I did, and I deliberately changed my thought patterns to that, no, everything's going smoothly, everyone's getting along, everything is just perfect and fine, and everything's working out in my favor, and it's good for me and for the patients. It's all perfect. And within minutes, it was like day and night, shifted immediately. And so you have that kind of power to do that in anything in your life. You are the only consciousness. You are the only one with free will. So because I had first created the negative situations where people were just sort of grumpy with each other and things weren't going so well, because of my initial attitude, when I realized what I had done, and then I switched it, changed it, shifted from that negative state of consciousness into a state of consciousness that I wanted to experience, everyone began to experience that, because everyone is me pushed out. So all the people that I was working with turned into people who were in good moods, laughing and joking and loving and kind. The situations that we were dealing with eased and became okay and peaceful and worked themselves out naturally and in a good way. And so it was all because of a state of consciousness, and you can apply that to anything in your life. You transmit a thought, and other people think it's their idea. So no one really had an idea that I created it and I uncreated it. It was just that people were glad things started to work out again. And that was through my consciousness, because they are in my consciousness, my reality, and they have to conform to my thoughts. So when you want something and you want it, I decreed it. And then I claimed it. I decreed that this is going to be a favorable situation. Everyone's going to get along. We're going to have unity here, and things are going to work out perfectly. And they did, because I decreed it, and then I claimed it, and then I persisted in it. And really, in that situation, it was seconds, minutes. Yes, just minutes. It really, before I saw it turn around. So we can do that in our lives. And we can do that through developing a strong mental diet. I realized my mental diet had fallen off the shelf, right? And had gone down into a negative tailspin. But once I realized that, I was able to go back into my positive mental diet, that everything is possible, that I am the creator of my reality. And so I was paying attention to my thoughts when I realized what was going on. So do that in your relationships, whether it's with the age gap or just an SP. Remember that they hear what you're thinking. They can feel what you're thinking. They think it's their idea, but really it's coming from you. And you can always just use some I am affirmations. I am choosing to live my life from my heart and radiate love, right? And I am deliberately letting go of all negative voices in my head. So we can use intentions like that. Change our perspective on everything. It's so important because our thoughts create. I have a quote from Neville. Experience in imagination with all the distinctness of reality. So when you're in an imaginal state, let that experience be filled with all the things that your heart desires, but also with lots of good emotion and vividness. And so then what is experienced in that imaginal scene will then eventually become your outer world or your 3D. And whenever I created an unhappy environment where I was at work and realized I did that, I switched it over to creating it to a happy environment. I didn't have to go into an imaginal scene or anything. I simply intended that I realized what I did, and then I intended that everyone would be loving and kind, and there would be unity between all of us, and that all the issues we were facing would easily work themselves out in a very natural way in the favor or to the good of all. And it was simple, and I didn't spend a lot of time on it because I had to work. But I deliberately did it with intensity when I did it. And then I noticed almost immediately that it had changed. And it was that way the rest of the night because it's my consciousness being pushed out. So if you're struggling in your 3D with something, recognize that that's your consciousness being pushed out. Change that state of consciousness. What are you paying attention to? How much energy and time are you putting into thinking about something negative? That's what's going to continue to grow and expand in your life. But if you're putting your time and your energy and the frequency of your time into something, your new story, what you want to manifest, then that will show up, it will expand, it will grow, and it will become your new reality. And the old will pass away and be gone. And that's so beautiful. Your subconscious mind always gives you what you are, not what you want. So that's why we talk about creating a new story. That's why we talk about setting intentions. That's why we talk about everything is you pushed out, and but what you are inside is pushed out and then becomes reflected back to you. So that's why we say good inner conversation that's in alignment with what it is your heart's desiring. Why that's so important? Because you're only going to get from the universe what you are. If you don't change internally what you are, which you do that by what you focus on, then you're going to continue to get the same old thing if you don't change. But if you change that focus from the old story, from what you do not want to experience anymore, to what you do want to experience, and you stay there even though you have no evidence at that point in the 3D, you know that the law of assumption works. You know that my thoughts right now are creating my future. And if I think these thoughts, eventually they will override, they will be pushed out of me, they will override the old thoughts, and they will become my new 3D reality. So that's how I'm shifting from an old story to a new story, by staying in the new story with all of my thoughts, my mental diet, my inner conversations, my imaginal scenes, and my conversations with other people. And because your subconscious mind only gives you who you are, not what you are wanting. Your subconscious mind always gives you what you are and not what you are wanting, okay? So you must become the thing you desire before it will manifest into your reality. So ask yourself, if I had that, whatever it is, in my reality, in my life right now, how would I feel? Because that's so important when you're shifting into the new story, to feel that new story. And to remember, I am whatever I am conscious of being. Be more conscious of the new story, even though you have no evidence of it, than you are the old story with evidence. And one last thought before we go. The evidence in your 3D, whatever the SP is saying to you, whatever the people are saying to you about the age gap, whatever's going on in your health, whatever's going on in your world financially or occupationally, none of that is anything more than a hologram. So when your SP is saying things to you that you don't want to hear, realize you're talking to a hologram. It's not a real, it's a hologram. So why give something that's nothing all of your energy, time, and stress and emotional discomfort? Put all that energy into something that's not a hologram, that is the true reality. What's going on right now inside of you, with your imaginal scenes, with your inner conversations, with all that mental diet, with everything that you feel and think and desire. Put all your energies into that, and that will show up, because that's the true reality. It's not evident yet, but it will be as you stay persisting in the new story. It's better than talking to a hologram, isn't it? So remember, persist in the new story, because that's the truth. That's the real reality. Thank you. Blessings, that I intend that this has been helpful to somebody out there today. Blessings.